So this is the Powerfist prop that me and my sister made together for my Veronica cosplay. Just a good view of it. And this thing goes about up to my elbow. It's pretty big. And the diameter of that hole is 3 inches, which is pretty small unless you have really thin arms. And I couldn't fit it quite all the way up to my elbow. So that was a little bit of a problem, but we made it. Okay. So this is a lacrosse glove that my brother had used in high school, but it's like all worn out. You can see the hole right there. And he didn't use them anymore. So we just spray painted it black because it was red, and you can kind of see like red in the cracks if you look closely. But yeah, we just spray painted it plain black and then did some detailing like in there with some black paint to just make it look a little more 3D, I guess. And alright, so the whole like base part, this is the wrist of the Powerfist. Like, see how the thumb's right there? This is made of 3 pieces of PVC pipe. This is like a connector from 3" to 4", I think. And then this is a 3" pipe, which actually starts there and ends like there about. It's like that long. It's just inside of these 2 pipes. And then the bottom one, which is nearest to the elbow, is a toilet flange, which like looks pretty cool and like kind of similar to the real thing. It's a lot smaller though. Like the actual diameter covers up the back of this part right here. So yeah, it's not exactly canon, but you kind of get the idea, especially if you look at it from the top. Alright, so we used EVA foam to make this part and this part, mostly. Also the part behind the washers and on the side, and it's the same on the other side, as you can see. And we just made, like, you can see from the back really well. We made like 3 layers of that because it's like as thick as those 3 little things. About a centimeter, I think. So yeah, we just did that for both things, and we wrapped it in like this really thin craft foam just to make it even, because the EVA foam was like flat on one side, as you can see, like right here it's flat, and then it was patterned like this on the other side. So, hold on. You can especially see on the top of the Powerfist, where like that's the flat side and that's the pattern side, which like, it's not ideal, but it's alright. It's not that big of a deal. You don't really look at that very hard. Unless you're doing like a photo shoot, I guess, but whatever. We used, I think it was like 1" or something close to 1" washers here and here to like, because there's not actually like joints or anything, and then nuts on both sides in 2 places to imitate the little valves that are on it. And we used a lot of hot glue to keep everything together, like the washers and the EVA foam to itself, and the little bars right here are also PVC pipe. I don't remember what size, but we just spray painted them silver, and they're just hot glued to the EVA foam part. Alright, so the actual assembly is kind of complicated, but the PVC pipe is just kind of stuck together because PVC pipe is kind of designed to be stuck together without glue, so these aren't actually glued together, all 3 of these pieces. But what we did is, the lacrosse glove had like a guard on the wrist that wouldn't fit inside the 4" PVC, so we cut that off and then just shoved it inside, and that actually worked, and it goes, like the cuff of it goes all the way down and hits the 3" part, and doesn't go any farther than that, and you can fit your hand in it without taking the glove off as long as you hold it like this. And so we decided to keep this immobile, and we decided to glue the EVA part right here to the glove. And also, you can see a little bit of glue right there, and you can see that's falling off a little bit. I'll explain that in a second. So yeah, it's glued to the top of the glove, like the top of the fist, also to the like rim of the PVC, and also here and here. And you see that like black goop stuff? That's just a lot of hot glue that we painted black, so it looks kind of like oil. It didn't really turn out very well. It was kind of a last minute thing because it kept falling apart. This whole thing's really delicate. And that's kind of how that happened, because somebody tried it on and they kind of yanked out the lacrosse glove in the process, and that's what happened. So, yeah. And then these are obviously hot glued. What else? Shut up! Okay, so also the washer parts, or like the gears or whatever, are not actually connected right there. Like, you could actually pull those apart, whereas like between there and there it's hot glued, but between here and there it's not. And that was because we originally wanted the glove to be detachable. Like, we tried to do, you can kind of see it, not really on the camera, that's Velcro in there. We tried to Velcro this part to the glove, but that did not work at all, and it was extremely delicate and fell apart within like 5 minutes. So we did not do that, and we just glued everything together. Okay, and you can kind of see how like this part, this panel, and this panel aren't like parallel, you know? They're kind of facing inwards a little bit, like at an angle, which is like, that was an accident. Yeah, you can see that this and this aren't flush. They're supposed to be flush. And this and this are supposed to be flush also, so that the gear parts look like they're matched up. But that's alright. It would look a lot better if they were, but that part, you can't really see it as well when you're actually wearing it. Okay, so we included the detail on the inside of the wrist with like the little tick marks, or whatever they're called, the tally marks. And those aren't screws at all, they're just silver paint. Okay. So the way we painted it is, I think we spray painted the whole thing like gunmetal steel or something ridiculous like that. Let that dry, and then we like did some kind of, we like dry brushed black paint, I think, and you can see it pretty well there. We just took a brush and just dabbed it everywhere, like absolutely everywhere, and like concentrated in the corners, like you can see it pretty well there. And then we were gonna do like a rusty effect, because the original is kind of like that, but it just like didn't show up at all on like the practice piece, so we just skipped that completely. And then we also took some silver paint and made like pretend scuff marks. Those aren't scuff marks at all, it's just silver paint. Put some like there, I think there's like a little silver scratch there. We didn't do any of that detailing on the glove because it's not the focus of the thing. This is the focus right here, you know? So we did that. And then these things are kind of weird. We were gonna do it originally, but I tried cutting them out anyway, and I really like the Vault Tech look that it kind of gives it, you know? Like original Fallout 3, even though it's New Vegas, that Veronica's in or whatever. So yeah, you can see it's not perfect, like those are part of the PVC right there. It's not really it, and it doesn't have as much detail, it's not the exact same shape, but whatever. Okay, and we also kind of scratched this with black paint. I don't remember if it was dry brush or wet brush, because my sister did it. but just to make it look like a piston kind of deal. And it's not functional at all because it's just a prop. But, alright, and I'm wearing it. You can see it doesn't go quite all the way, but that means I can bend my elbow about 90 degrees, and that's it. Like, if you watch Veronica in the game, she crosses her arms, it actually clips through her arm. And I can move my fingers and everything, but I've kind of got a fist shape just because, like, when you hang it by your side, it wants to fall off just because of gravity, you know? So, it looks pretty good.